Namaste. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Today's class is about our third eye center, our Ajna chakra or Agya chakra. So we will seek to develop our sense of intuition, of inner knowingness, and that will apply to the yoga postures that we do. So today you have freedom to choose many different options between the yin yoga world postures. So I will suggest a couple of postures at the beginning where you might benefit from using a wall, and you can also benefit from having a roll blanket or a roll mat in case that for squat you need extra support if your heels are lifted. But the first posture that I will suggest would be dangling, and that it is to really calm down our minds and enter into a space of quietude, of silence, and of acknowledging how we feel. If you suffer from high blood pressure or if you have any back injuries, it would be best to do this posture in a slightly different way. So this posture, which is dangling, can be also done by sitting on the floor and extending the legs in front of you. It's caterpillar, or as some of you might know it as Paschimottanasana. And the second posture will be squat. So squat, if I was lifting on my arms, it would be essentially the same posture as child's pose. So in child's pose you can send the knees wide and the tops of the feet down, the toes can be together or apart, and then you simply fold forward using any props you need. And with yin yoga, I feel that you really need to connect to that intuition. You really need to connect to that inner voice that tells you, my body doesn't want to do it in the same way that another person does a posture or expresses a posture. So we will have a little bit of guidance to enter the postures, and also what are the options. The options are always many, so you can actually feel free today to take any postures if you wish, and we will be there for 4 minutes. So I will use a phone app in which I will ring a bell at the beginning of the posture and in the middle of the posture. So when the bell rings, it will mark the start. And after 2 minutes, when we have the ring for the completion of half the time, then you can either choose to go deeper, you can choose to modify, or you can choose to back up if that's also what your body is asking. So we will begin by either using a wall, even though it's not completely necessary. You could be standing right where you are and let your upper body hang. This is more for the back than the hamstrings, so the knees can always be bent. And if you prefer to have the support of the wall, whether behind the sitting bones or behind your back, both work, and you can always feel free to explore. So enjoy the practice. The sitting bones can be supported, and then you can let your arms dangle. Begin. Any back injuries or issues that are affected by spinal flexion can be relieved slightly by elongating the spine. That uses a little bit more muscular action. So another way that you can do this posture is by having your elbows or forearms resting on the thighs. And that will also include a little bit more muscular action, but then you know that you can always take the seated position instead. You can wrap upper arms, or the hands can also rest on a bolster if you have a bolster close to you. So choosing a variation and staying. If you ever feel like straightening the legs is what you wish to do, what your body calls you to do, then that is totally fine. It's good. Ajna chakra is connected to our sight, third eye, as well as insight, hindsight, foresight. The name of this chakra, Ajna or Agya, means to perceive or to command. The third eye chakra is located in the brain, at the brow, above the base of the nose. It is connected to the pituitary gland, and this chakra is what allows to experience clear thought, spiritual contemplation, and self-reflection. This energetic center is believed to be the seat of wisdom and conscience. And when it's balanced, we see life with clarity, we have strong intuition and insight, as well as self-awareness and emotional balance. But when the third eye is blocked or imbalanced, we tend to struggle with problems such as anxiety, depression, close-mindedness, sleep and mood disorders, mental illnesses. The energy of Ajna allows us to access our own inner compass, our own inner guidance that comes from the depths of our being. It allows us to cut through illusions and access our deeper truths that are from beyond the mind and beyond words. Being connected to this energy center allows us to see everything as a witness, as an observer, allowing us to be mindful of the moment by moment. You can begin to release your fingertips down towards the floor, beginning to lower the sitting bones, sending the feet a little wider if you need, or as wide as it's available for you. Lifting the heels if that's needed. And if you have a wall, you can either stay with your back against the wall, which makes this posture a little easier, a little bit more accessible. And again, if you need to roll your mat and place it underneath the heels, or placing the heels on a blanket, then you can do so now. If you need a bolster or a block underneath your sitting bones, that is also another option that you can take. Begin to slowly send your attention to your breath. Are you aware of all the places that get moved or touched by breath in your upper body? Are you able to internally feel this ripple that is caused by the movement of breath? Where does your inhalation go? Where do you feel it? Can you feel it at the tummy? In the back, perhaps? Are you able to feel it on the sides of the body? Lower rib cage, maybe? What about the upper chest or collarbones? What would be the deepest breath that you can take? When you exhale, are you able to feel the very end of the exhalation before you inhale again? Or do you inhale before the very end of the exhalation? Keeping your breath deep. Come out in any way that feels good for you. For me, I need to lift the heels. Using one knee down, the other knee down. Feel free to do any movement, any pause, any stretch. The next posture will be any back bend of your choice. It can be Sphinx, it can be puppy pose. I will do Sphinx, but I will quickly show puppy pose. In puppy pose, your hands walk forward, your forearms can be down, and your forehead can go down and onto a block. You can place a bolster underneath the lower ribs. You can hold opposite upper arm or stretch the arms forward. The sitting bones are roughly over the knees, but they can always move slightly back or slightly forward so you can explore. And you do not want to get numbness in an area of the body and stay there. You want to shift if that happens, so you want to move and then you can enter the same posture or a different one. So I will do Sphinx. If you have a roll blanket, if you want to enhance the practice after half the time, you can always place that roll blanket underneath your lower ribs or elevate your forearms or elbows. And here you can have your hands as you wish. Because of space and angle, I will choose to face you, and for that my knees will be bent, and that is not a requirement, but if you do want to bend the knees at some point, you are always welcome to. For these first 2 minutes, begin to enhance the cultivation of awareness by breathing for 2 minutes onto the tummy, and we let it expand and push the floor away. And our goal is to remain fully present to just that. And if there is a need to move, you can always do so. But if that happens, notice what in you needs to move. Let's begin. Now, for the next 2 minutes, can you direct your breath to your back, lower back, middle back? You might be able to feel more volume there or expansion. Or if you don't notice this, it does not matter. What's important is that you look in this direction. Coming out of the posture, doing anything you need, any rebound or counter posture. We can slowly move towards Sisa, in which you can roll over to the side if you need to bend the knees. and place the shins on the floor. So you can choose to have your knees together, maybe one foot on top of the other, and then when it's 2 minutes, then you can switch. You can also place support in between the feet to sit up a little taller, or you can do this with the legs wider and sitting completely on the bolster. We are going to be here for 4 minutes, and know that if you ever need to come out of the posture before, you're more than welcome to. So in this posture you can also place a blanket underneath the tops of the feet, and if not, take any other seated position that feels appropriate for you today. Anything that you can sustain for 4 minutes and hopefully find an inner stillness. We will continue to concentrate on the breath. Let's begin. Guide your awareness to the side waist and lower ribs. Let prana and chi fill up this area. Let it become expansive as you breathe. When any sensations or thoughts arise, without pushing them away or rejecting them, simply go back to watching your breath. Knowing that a hindrance is never the noise outside, the thoughts or the discomfort, but it is what we make them mean. Returning to the breath over and over again. Now guide your attention to the upper chest, collarbones, the whole of the rib cage as you breathe. moment lean forward. If you need to move the feet or do anything else to find your freedom. I like to nourish my toe lines by compressing the toes, tucking them, and then sending the sitting bones back towards the heels. Eventually find a seated position of your choice. So the next posture will be an option of a forward fold, and there is so many options, and you can do any option that you know and that you feel attracted to today. Some can be a V shape, or having the soles of the feet together, or the legs together, so that is symmetrical postures in which both legs are doing the same. If you don't want to stay too long in a posture, you can always do an asymmetrical one and have half the time in one posture. Let's say I do a forward fold with one knee bent, so half the time there, or with the leg cross on top, or there. And then when it's 2 minutes, you can do the other. But today, as we are exploring this inner realm of ourselves that requires us to also not be too comfortable, and we can truly explore what's in store for us, or what has been hiding inside the tissue. So let's find an option that feels suitable. Let's begin. Any props are welcome to be used at any time in any way, supporting any part of your body or limbs that feel a little tender. And notice if there is any tensions in the legs, in the feet. Can you let them soften? Can you let them relax? Can you do the same with the head, with the shoulders? It is said that when Michelangelo sculpted, he saw the sculpture waiting, already complete in the uncut stone. He often said that his job was to carve away all the excess, freeing the thing of beauty just waiting to be released. Connecting to our intuition is no other than facing ourselves, uncovering the meaning in our heart experiences, becoming more conscious, becoming quieter so that we can truly hear. Becoming aware is what allows us to sculpt away the excess, all that we are not. And we uncover that inner instinctive knowing, which doesn't require thoughts or analysis, but simply for us to be present enough to hear, so that we allow our intuition to speak, the soul connection that is waiting, complete, within us. Life on earth has been designed for us to carve away what's no longer necessary. The ways in which we are challenged or the ways in which we suffer, both inwardly and outwardly, are the chisels of the universe or life or God, freeing the thing of beauty, as Michelangelo said, that we have carried within since birth. Allow yourself to breathe deeply and accept the stillness that comes. It's the skin of your soul waiting in its completeness for you to carve away what's no longer necessary. The excess of the human needs, human wants, desires, attachments. So you can really end up as a sculpture in the magnificence that you are. Letting go of the shape. Taking your required movement or lack of movement. I perceive the energy flashing onto the different areas of your body. Notice how you feel internally right now. So just for a couple of minutes, I will share with you a technique that is yoga for the eyes, and because the third eye center is quite connected to our sight, we are going to explore some eye movements that help strengthen our vision and also allows us to prevent eye problems. You can have the fists resting on the legs or on the floor, or they might be hovering, but make sure that you can see the thumbs from where they are, so you are with a straight spine, upright spine. And if you were to gaze to your left thumb, you're able to see it. If not, you can send it a little further forward. And then the same with the right thumb. So let's do that a few times. As you inhale, gaze to the third eye center, space in between the eyebrows. As you exhale, take your gaze towards the left thumb. Inhale, center. Exhale, right thumb. Let's do this a few times, 4 times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So with every breath, you're changing your gaze, shifting it to center, thumb, one at a time. Just do more rounds. Or if you want a little faster, then you can release. Soften the forehead. Now gaze to the space in between the eyebrows Let the eyes close, bring palms over one another and rub the palms against each other, create heat. Now pause, create space in between your palms and bring the palms towards the eyes. So making a cup with the hands, covering the closed eyes, taking a big inhale here. Cleansing breath out through the mouth. Close the mouth, take a couple of breath cycles. Notice the space behind the eyes, the center of the head. And begin to send your inner gaze downwards. Just imagining that you're gazing downwards towards your heart. And begin to open the eyes, spread the fingers, release the hands. So now the invitation for posture can be anything. But as a suggestion, I know that anything can be overwhelming sometimes. I will suggest the archetype of shoelace, and for that you can choose anything like either bending one knee and sending that knee on top of the other, or sending one shin in front of the other and having the knees a little wider or a little closer, or one can go further back, the other one can go further forward. Or it can be similar shape in the front leg and then bending both knees. So you can be in a sort of 90-degree angle that can be shifted by sending the feet in, and this is called deer in the yin yoga world. Then you would fold forward. You can use a prop, and the prop can be right in the forehead, and you can also choose to move towards pigeon instead. So taking any of those variations, let's begin. You do want to feel we get a little quieter in the practice. In my experience, the wanting to continue with your day or abandon the practice, and know that it is this conscious willingness to stay with the discomfort, with the silence, with the knowing that there is something that you want to change, yet you choose to witness it instead. Do not act upon the mind's requests and needs. You whatever you want to take us away from this moment. And the more that we stop running from what is, the more that our own intuition and inner guidance becomes more present. The more that this inner guidance reveals itself to us, I will give you silence. Know that in this space of silent awareness, if there is anything that you need to know or a question that is in your heart, you can ask yourself a question, and the answer that comes quickly without any stories behind it, it is the one coming from this higher place in you, beyond analysis, beyond thoughts, from your higher guidance. You now know that that's the bell to come out of the posture. And let's switch sides. Let's move down towards that laying down position, and you will choose any posture of your choice. But if you would like a suggestion, I will be doing banana asana, and I will show you just a few options for twist in case you wanted to do twist instead. So for twist, you can scoop the hips over to, let's say, the left side, and then your knees can be together and you can let them fall onto the right side. You can go higher, they can go lower. You can straighten the top leg, you can cross it, top leg on top, or you can take any other option, like straightening the bottom leg. For banana asana, your pelvis stays where it is, and then you send both legs over to one side. I will send them to the right. I like to cross the left foot on top of the right, and I feel a little bit more lengthening on the gallbladder meridian, on the side body tissues. And then your arms can also reach over to the right hand side, and that goes along with your spine, and you can grab opposite forearms or grab opposite wrist, or simply let the arms be in a comfortable position. Notice the difference between one side of the body and the other. Let's shift to the other side. Begin to come out of the posture, rest in Shavasana. bend the knees very slowly. Begin to take inventory of your body, of your inner state, of your physical state. Whether you can notice any difference or not. Keeping a mindful and relaxed quality in you. Begin to bend the knees. Really feel your feet connecting to the ground, and this causes any extra quality in you. Extend the arms up overhead. Roll them to any side. Bring the palms to the heart. Bathing yourself with presence as we chisel away everything that is not necessary, needed, or essential for the spirit, the essence, or the soul within to fulfill itself, to realize itself. Let's inhale together and exhale. Inhale to chant Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.